Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard. We're chatting with Lee Barker. He's the Chief Technical Advisor for GEM International Resources Incorporated. It trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol GI. His website is gemdiamondmining.com. Lee, can you tell us a bit more about GEM International?
Well, certainly. GEM International is a company that was revived from a shell earlier this year, and it has had the opportunity to acquire a very large diamond exploration property in Angola, northeastern Angola. Northeastern Angola produces about 25% of the world's high-quality diamonds. The fourth largest bedrock diamond mine in the world is located there. And the GEM project is part and parcel of a 3,000 square kilometer license that GEM acquired from its partners earlier this year. The license is a little bit unique in a number of ways. Number one, it's very, very large. Historically, very small licenses only were granted in Angola. I worked in Angola from 1996 until 2003, so I know the country well. This large license, as a result of course, we had a bit of a meltdown in commodities and oil in the last 7 or 8 years. And Angola bases its cash flow and its foreign exchange mostly on oil and diamonds. And with the oil business going down, they were looking for ways to attract more investment in the commodities side and the resource side, and of course on the diamond side as well. And so large licenses are available for acquisition by foreign investors. And one of the other unique things about this license is that it's located about 20 kilometers south of the fourth largest diamond mine in the world. The area has historically had a significant amount of diamond production, both from this one diamond mine, but also from alluvial mining in the rivers that travel through this part of the world. Alluvial diamond mining in northeastern Angola has been going on for probably almost 75 years now, early 1950s. Diamonds have been known there and produced there for a long, long time. And the area that GEM has acquired is called the Dala license. And interestingly, this license was previously explored for bedrock-type diamond deposits in kimberlite pipes for about 4 or 5 years between 2004 and 2009 by an Irish-based company that spent over $15 million and generated a very, very large amount of very good data. Of course, in 2008, we had the world economic meltdown. These guys couldn't raise any more money for their work, and they dropped the license, and it was subsequently reacquired by the partners that GEM has, who are very experienced, actually alluvial miners from South Africa that I worked with for 7 years in Angola myself. And the other opportunity, of course, apart from the alluvial mining, which can give early cash flow, and they're gearing up for that as we speak, is these bedrock diamond deposits, which are hosted in rocks called kimberlites, or kimberlite pipes. And the Katoka mine, the fourth largest mine in the world, is a very large kimberlite pipe. It has over 250,000 ounces carats of reserves of diamond when it opened in 1998. It still has about 170 to 180,000 million carats still remaining in the reserve base. Katoka has been extremely successful. They recently announced exploration work had generated another large diamond deposit nearby. And on the Dala license, which GEM has acquired an interest in, and as it will be exploring, there were 6 new kimberlite pipes located by the previous guys from the Irish company. They were never followed up as to their diamond content. Very, very small drill holes were drilled in them. And it was they were discovered as a result of an airborne magnetic survey. And this survey, this method of surveying is only now just becoming used more in Angola. Historically, it had all been physical prospecting on the ground and, of course, mining the gravels and things in these rivers. But the source of the diamonds in all these gravels are these kimberlite pipes, which are eroded and weathered, and the diamonds are carried by the rivers and deposited in gravels associated with the river, old river bases. The interesting thing is that the rivers in this area flow north. Ultimately, they go into the Congo River and go out to the Atlantic Ocean. In this particular area, the Katoka mine, which is the largest known source of diamonds, is north of the Dala license. So there has to be diamonds in some of these kimberlites to have produced the alluvial diamonds that are currently being mined at Dala in the Dala license itself. And at the moment, GEM has started physical activity on the ground. They've cleared out all the illegal miners. They're in the process of setting up a base and acquiring some equipment, some mining equipment and processing equipment. And at the moment, I think we have a reasonable opportunity here for both early stage cash flow from the alluvial mining of the gravels and things, and in the future, the big possibility of finding a diamondiferous kimberlite pipe. There's well over 30 targets on the Dala license that have not yet been tested. As I said, the earlier exploration company ran out of money and was unable to raise more funds. And in that way, the project is somewhat unique because for a relatively small investment, they can get cash flow. They want to use the cash flow to actually do the exploration work for the bedrock kimberlite diamond deposits. And they've raised about $1.5 million so far, and are in the process of raising about $3 million more, and that will carry them through certainly to cash flow and the beginning of the exploration for the kimberlites and evaluation of the ones that have already been found.
Now, I know Angola was the site of a very vicious civil war. What's it like right now?
The war basically was over when the rebel leader Jonas Savimbi was killed in 2002, and since that time, the infrastructure of the country has been completely rebuilt to a large extent by the Chinese because they love the oil and all the other resources that Angola has that can be developed. There are paved roads, painted buildings, new hotels, new subdivisions, and the country has been restored, not to what it was, of course, in colonial times when the Portuguese ran it, but back to a normal situation. The issues of security that were related to the old Civil War are completely gone now, and people are getting on with their lives and trying to build new businesses and make things work.
What kind of improvements have the government made to make it a seamless process if you're a miner there?
Well, the system is actually relatively progressive to do things. You begin with an exploration license or a mining license, as Dala right now has a mining license for alluvials, and they can mine alluvials anywhere in this 3,000 square kilometer area. On the kimberlite side, when you identify a kimberlite pipe and do enough work to prove that it can be commercial, you basically provide a study with all the normal environmental things and everything to the government, and then you would apply for a mining license on that particular deposit, which would be inside the overall larger Dala 3,000 square kilometer license. And nobody else can come into that license and go around you to acquire other kimberlites. You have preferential rights on all of that, but the actual mining license area for a bedrock deposit would be a little bit more restricted, and of course you have to do all your environmental and physical studies and mine planning and things like that as part and parcel of the application. But it's quite straightforward, and the regulations are adherence to United Nations environmental policies that relate to resource development and mining, and it's not difficult. Difficult thing is getting the job done, and getting the job done is much easier now because the infrastructure is back in place, the roads are open, the bridges are up, roads are paved, and you have availability of staff and equipment and everything locally now.
How do Angolan diamonds stack up when it comes to quality?
Very high quality, because in the world right now, as I said at the beginning, about 25%, even possibly more, of the world's highest quality gem type diamonds come from Angola, and they're prized, and there's a lot of large stones in Angola that, of course, command high prices. We know that the diamond market these days is a little bit soft, but the market for the high quality, very clean, white, large stones has maintained a strong position all throughout all the economic crisis. And as things improve, of course, in the world economy, and people have more discretionary revenue to spend, the overall business will get back to what it used to be. But not a big problem. Angolan diamonds are very highly sought after by cutters to turn into jewelry.
What kind of labor relations do you have in Angola?
You know, because the legacy of hard rock mining in Angola is relatively small and relatively new in comparison to South Africa. Most of the mines are surface mines, so you don't have the issues of these deep underground mines with very difficult working conditions that the South Africans have been operating for probably close to over 100 years now. And in Angola, basically, people obviously want jobs. There is skilled labor available. There's some technical schools that are actually generating relatively good technical people, mining engineers and technicians, surveyors, things like that. And my experience there was there were good people available, and they were willing to work, and they were hard workers, and we had a very good relationship with them. There was no issues about strikes or anything like that. You know, everybody was paid relatively well, and they were quite competent.
Lee, what makes GEM International stand out from other resource companies?
The difference for GEM is that they have the ability, with a relatively modest investment, to start getting cash flow from producing diamonds from these alluvial deposits. I could show you videos from the Dala property of dozens of areas where the artisanal miners are mining and have been mining diamonds in the past. And we know the diamonds are there. They don't spend hundreds of man-hours of work physically with shovels and wheelbarrows moving gravel and stuff if there isn't anything in it for them to get some benefit out of. So that's key. As I said, the operators who are very experienced people have moved most of these people away now, and they're setting up to mine these gravels themselves, and at relatively low cost. You know, we'll probably be in production with an expenditure of under $1.5 million. And then, of course, the kimberlite exploration is a little bit slower. It requires core drilling, or perhaps large diameter drilling in the future. But the ability of GEM to actually start getting revenue, far more advanced in the exploration cycle of its development of this property is quite unique. You know, people that are working in Canada in the diamond exploration field, things like that, they don't have these opportunities because we don't have these kinds of deposits in Canada or almost anywhere else. The alluvial deposits are quite rich locally, and they're the bread and butter. And if you follow a company called Lucapa Diamonds, which is Australian-based, they also have an alluvial diamond property to the southwest of Dala. It's on a different river system, but they're producing some very large diamonds, up to 400 carats in size. From the alluvial mining there, they haven't started any kimberlite exploration yet for the bedrock deposits, and they think they had $4.5 million revenue in the first quarter of this year. And there's no reason why, with the scale of the operation building up, that GEM can't have some cash flow very, very quickly. We're hoping to have revenue by the end of the year.
Lee, how can people find out more about GEM International?
The company has a good website. They can go to gemdiamondmining.com. There's a full presentation on the website that gives more details about the project, the area, shows where it is in relation to different other projects, and it also talks a little bit about Angola as a country and the repatriation, the new infrastructure, and all the improvements that have happened since the Civil War ended.
Lee, thank you very much for chatting with us.
No, you're very welcome. I look forward to a follow-up.
We've been talking with Lee Barker. He's the Chief Technical Advisor for GEM International Resources Incorporated. They trade on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol GI. Their website, gemdiamondmining.com. I'm Jim Goddard.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.